In this video, we are going to be talking about what are injection attacks in Flask, or in general, it's related to web applications and web application frameworks, and how you can avoid these attacks in Flask. So what I have done is I have set up a small Flask app.py. I've imported the Flask and request from the Flask package, and I've also created this virtual environment which holds this Flask package. Now I'm creating this app instance, and then I'm creating one index route which basically parses the URL, the argument passed in the URL, and it looks for a key called name, and if it is able to find it, then it does something like hello name. So if I pass my name Rahul, then it is going to render it as hello Rahul, and if no argument is displayed there, it will just say hello none. Okay, now what is injection attacks? First of all, let me show you how it looks like. So currently in here I basically have a server running. So what I can do is I can run this. So currently no name argument is passed in the URL, so it says hello none. Let me increase the size a little bit. Now what I can do is I can do / and name is equal to Rahul. Because I did not pass it like this, so name is equal to, one second, name is equal to Rahul. Why it is not able to find it? I see, because I need to do this. Okay, now we can see hello Rahul. Now this works good, right? You might be tempted to basically take this code and push it to production, but here is where things get a little bit interesting, and that is this return statement is going to take a string, and that string can be any HTML, and is going to parse that. Let me do one thing. Let me comment this name, and what I can do is I can embed maybe instead of hello, I can embed a script tag. Now script is a tag within HTML which allow you to execute a JavaScript code. Now in JavaScript there is a function called alert. Hey there. Okay, so this function can be executed from here. Now if I run this, notice what happens. Hey there. So you see this, it is able to execute the code. Now where does injection attacks comes in? Injection attack comes in where we accept the argument from the user. Now what user can do is user can simply in place of name, they can pass this script tag. Okay, so hello and in place of, well, let's say I do name. Now what will happen is, let me now load the localhost again. Now you see hello none. But now what user can do, as a user of this app, what I can do is I can put question mark and I can do name is equal to this. So what I have done is I've pasted this script tag. Now if I hit enter, so you see this, now user is able to control what code is executed when my application run. Now not only that, I can run like other codes as well. Okay, I can run different kinds of codes which might have some potential security considerations. So you could think this as a security breach. Okay, so these are precisely what we refer to as injection attacks, where the user can execute any arbitrary code in the front end. So if I run this again, you see this again. Okay, and if I change the hey there to something else, maybe hi there, we get hi. So user is able to control what gets executed in the front end. So now what we can do is we can talk about what are the methods to kind of avoid this kind of attack. So how can we avoid these kind of attacks? Now what we can do is we can take any name that we are getting from the user, and we can escape it. So there is a function called escape in the package mark safe, and this function now instead of name, what I can do is I can escape this name. Now what will this do is, let me run the code again. Let me go here. let me see if my server is still running. Okay, mark safe is the package. Markup safe, sorry, it's called markup safe. Now let me run the server again, and now if I run this, I see hello none, right? But now this time if I pass name is equal to Rahul, it will work. But now let me pass name is equal to script tag. You see that tag is there as it is. Now it's not executing any code, any JavaScript code. It is just taking that code, and it is basically thinking that JavaScript code as a plain text, not as the code itself. Okay, so this is one of the methods you can follow to kind of avoid injection attacks. There is one more method which you can use to kind of avoid injection attacks, and that method is using templates. Now Flask uses something known as Jinja template. What is Jinja template? Jinja is a basically templating engine which by default escapes all the arguments. So let me show you how does that work. So what I can do is I can create a new directory called templates, and inside this templates I can create a index.html, and I can import a function called render template. And in place of this, now what I can do is I can do simply render template and index.html. Now this can take user input, so I will pass name is equal to name. Now we don't need this escape now anymore, because we can just use the Jinja's inbuilt capability to do this escaping automatically for us. Okay, so now what I can do is I can come inside here and I can create a h1 tag, and inside this I can pass name here. Okay, so hello name. Now this name is name you are getting from here. Let's run this now and see what do we get. So hello none. Currently we are getting hello none. Now let's use Rahul. Yes, we are able to see the Rahul, but now let's look at this with script. Now this script is again getting treated as a plain text, not as something as JavaScript code. Why? We did not do any escaping in this code. We just relied on the inbuilt Jinja behavior. So by default it utilizes and escapes all the inputs which are passed by these keyword and value argument. I hope it makes sense. So just to summarize, injection attacks are attacks when user as input can pass some code, some JavaScript code to get executed in the front end, and we can avoid it by two methods. We can either escape it by using escape from the markup safe package, or we can use Jinja templating feature of Flask by putting our templates inside index.html in the templates folder, and that will take care of the escaping for us. So I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you want me to cover anything else related to Flask or anything specific. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.